Iran News Now. Election runoff in Iran. To know. On Friday, a reformist and an ultra-conservative will compete in Iran's presidential runoff election amid record-low voter turnout and widespread apathy that elections can alter things. The runoff follows a special vote after President Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter crash death in May. How did Iran's first-round voting go? Last Friday, 40% of voters, a record low, voted, and none of the four candidates on the ballot received 50% of the vote. The reformist candidate, Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian, a former health minister and ultra-hardliner, and former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalali, earned the most votes, forcing a Friday runoff. Conservatives split between two candidates, with one winning less than 1%, so Dr. Pezeshkian progressed. The runoff may draw more voters. Some Iranians stated on social media that they feared Mr. Jalali's hardline views and would vote for Dr. Pezeshkian. Dr. Pezeshkian has received roughly half of Mr. Jalali's conservative first-round opponent Mohammad Bakr Ghalibaf's votes, according to polls. Image. Who are the runoff candidates? Experts predicted that Reformist Party supporters and those who boycotted the March legislative elections and 2021 presidential race would vote more under Dr. Pezeshkian. Dr. Pezeshkian has claimed he will have nuclear talks with the West to relieve Iran's economic sanctions. Jalali has a harsher negotiating attitude and has declared in debates that he aims to fight sanctions and strengthen commercial links with other countries. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei decides Iran's nuclear and state policy. He authorized the administration to indirectly negotiate sanctions with the U.S. Negotiations will certainly continue regardless of president. Editor picks. How to stay cool and chic in the heat. Shania Twain, legend. Create something with your hands, even if it's ugly. Will Iranians vote? Iranians have historically been quite engaged in elections, but many have abstained in recent elections to protest an ineffective and out-of-touch government. Many no longer feel voting will improve their circumstances and want clerical control to stop. Mr. Ghalibaf requested his supporters to vote for Mr. Jalali in the runoff, but many, including some of his campaign managers, have switched to Dr. Pezeshkian's camp, saying Jalali was harmful to Iran's future and would escalate tensions locally and globally. Iranians voted for reformist Hassan Rouhani in 2013, who promised a more open country and fewer social constraints. In 2018, President Donald J. Trump halted collaboration by withdrawing from a nuclear deal with Iran and reimposing sanctions. Social liberties declined after conservative Mr. Raisi succeeded Rouhani. This election fair and free? Human rights groups have accused the 12-person Guardian Council of influencing elections by removing public vote selection. It eliminated 7 women, a previous president, and several government officials from 80 candidates to 6 for this election. Image. Why does this election matter? The election is a chance for the administration to show it can handle a president's untimely death without chaos amid internal demonstrations against the Islamic Republic and conflict with the U.S. and Israel. If Mr. Jalali wins, the administration will likely win due to its ideological politics. The supreme leader oversees foreign policy, but the president sets domestic policy and can influence social issues like Iran's hijab law. 6 years after the U.S. withdrew from its nuclear deal with Iran, the next president's nuclear program management position is uncertain. This is a growing concern for the West as Israel and Iran raise relations. Image. The biggest issues? This election is about the economy, U.S. sanctions, and women's rights because many Iranians have lost faith in a government they believe can't improve anything. Already ailing economy has been crippled by sanctions. As some see leaders preaching austerity and modesty while their families spend lavishly abroad, public discontent has grown. When will runoff results be known? The Interior Ministry called a rerun the day after first-round voting completed. Officials will likely disclose preliminary results by Saturday.